In our last episode, we saw the first part of our 4,000-mile trip across the South Pacific Ocean from Panama to Gambier. Gambier is a remote atoll in French Polynesia. Join us during our adventures of sailing the South Pacific. In this episode, we see the second half of our trip, where the winds begin to pick up and the waves get enormous. We really appreciate a like. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you see our videos when they're posted about every 2 weeks. During the first week of our trip, as we crossed the equator, we had light or no winds, and it was mostly uneventful, except that our BNG went dark and wouldn't work the second day out, leaving us without radar. We had onboard visits from red-footed boobies, and we caught some fish along the way. With full moon and calm ocean, night watches were easy, but that was about to change.
Good morning, the sails are up. Check out the fishy that came up on its tomb on the daggerboard.
Tuesday, they put the Jennifer up, they've just taken it down, and I guess the wind's good for spinnaker.
Ah yes, this would be the day, with fickle winds, large wind shifts of 30 degrees, and large seas of 8 to 10 feet.
The guy and sheet are attached to the clip.
Okay, Robert, when we're ready, it's oysters. We're going to hold the bag down with that blue rope. Okay. And then the biggest thing is I'm going to open up the sheet and the guy at the same time to make it really wide. And then just want to make sure that we lift the bag very slowly in case there are twists in it.
Okay.
Okay?
Hoisting the spinnaker is a bit of a process. First, the spinnaker in the sock is raised to the top of the mast with the halyard, and we have a special marking on the halyard to make sure it's not lifted too high. And then the sock must slowly be pulled up so that the spinnaker can inflate.
Big.
It's too low. It's too low with the main. Get back up, Robert.
Okay. Need a bit more sheet tension to stay up.
How fast are we going now?
Not very. 8 knots. It's only 12 knots of breeze. 9 knots.
And then the wind died completely.
Hey guys!
Woo! Yay! Spinnaker down with no drama.
The average wind speed was just 17 knots. We did have gusts up to 30. And again, shifting winds and large waves hitting us on the side.
The next lunch, we're about to go, and it's time to reef the main. Nobody wants to do it. Everyone's rushing to do it. He is rushing to do it. She's all ready. Look at that.
Any more dishes?
Look at the size of those waves. So we've taken down the Jennifer and got me and Sarah tying it up to the trampoline so it doesn't blow off. So now that we got that done, the wind's gone down, but it was blowing 35 knots, but we're ready for the night. Day 11, sunrise. It's the first day in maybe 4 or 5 days, I've lost count, where we can actually see the sun coming up. A nice yellow ball. One roof is made. So we are off to do some fish cleaning.
Morning duty fish cleaning.
Best amount of day in the neighborhood.
We have the best chef on board.
keep a pretty detailed logbook with comments.
This is the first sunset we've seen for a week or so.
The unsettled weather, we had to head further south than we had planned, and with another change in the wind, we could head directly to destination.
Just basically knowing that we're heading straight for the island. If we head too far south, we end up hitting the Pitcairn Islands. We don't want to run into those.
Oh, you know what we don't want to run into? There's a little reef where the sea rises to what, 37 feet?
From
And,
6,000 feet.
What?
From 6,000 to 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Must be interesting wave pattern.
exactly.
Yes, exactly.
And if the wind doesn't switch to the north, we may see that wave pattern.
We always enjoy watching sunset together and having a little chit-chat.
We just got an email that SAG lost their autopilot. They're being very stoic about it, at least in the email. What else can you do? But I really feel bad for them.
Well, I wonder how they're going to find it over the night, because it's so difficult to hand steer in the night when there's no moon tonight.
You see it in the morning.
So it's very difficult to hand steer at night. You lose your bearings. You have to steer by the instruments, and very tiring if there's only two of them.
I feel really bad for them.
Luckily, Pierre has a backup auto helm on the boat.
all you have to do is plug it in.
And it's going to be a dark night with no moon for the first half of the night.
Up goes the spinnaker again.
We got one reef in the main. Well, we're still on the inside. But we just want to keep right on port, and that way we get to see it. I don't know if the sailmaker intended that way or they just made a mistake. See the wave come. Panama all the way down.
And the spots are we're tracking the different boats. Black is us, red is Saga, yellow is Palm, and the green is Impossible.
Well, it's the middle of the night and they're having a weekend party. Alright, it's sunrise. You can see storms on the horizon. That black cloud that passed us is probably one that is causing some of the wind shift problems. Although it was too dark to see it.
It would be another day of large seas hitting us on the side and shifting winds.
It's definitely raining over there.
A rainbow always brightens the day.
We decided to change colors today.
Yes, the old famous red sail
Look at that.
that we've already sailed thousands and thousands of nautical miles with. Yeah, this sail was up most of the time crossing the Atlantic. It's a much nicer nylon, and with the lighter winds today, this should fly better, we hope.
There's Pierre, always fiddling with adjusting the sails. This time he needs to go on the crossbeam to attach a rope.
Okay. Good. Good. Okay, so we have wind today and tomorrow no wind.
Looking at the weather, we're going to come into a no-wind area, but actually it's going to be the lull before a storm.
And how many days of fuel do we have left?
Oh, we're in good shape. We haven't used much fuel at all yet.
You better. Shower. Should we get your jacket?
Well, I have to steer. I can't stop.
So we've just reached the main. Getting ready for night.
Despite the light winds, the waves are really banging us on the side. There are large swells coming from the Southern Ocean.
March 28. I've got all the stuff all ready for fishing. We have sunrise. And we're motoring, there's no wind. There's big waves.
Here we are in the no-wind area, and check out our crew. Luckily, Pierre was on watch to notice a problem with the Code D.
The lashing came undone on the top of the sail, and we've just rethreaded it back.
Looks like a fucking shoelace.
It was shaking there.
And we've got it tied up. It didn't go in the water. And
We need that new.
Okay.
this is what came undone.
Do I need to go into?
It broke, Lisa. It was chafing there.
Grabbed the main, and now I got to go up front and hold. And it's dragged so we can take it up behind the main. A lot of action. We hoisted the red sail again, and now we've just jogged it.
I know. I came back to get it filled.
And then hoisted it back up after it was relashed, and it all went very smoothly. Thanks to good planning from the boys.
And the hard work from the women.
And the hard work from the women.
It was good. Very good teamwork to get everything done so fast.
Very fast. How long did we lose?
So
Like
half an hour to completely fix a total mess and to change course and go a new direction and get all set up.
Fabulous.
Very, very good teamwork.
And
We even did a 3,000 square foot spinnaker launch with no sock and no roller, nothing. Just like we used to do in the dinghy.
yeah, we used the mainsail as a shield.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, a jar of elastic bands.
That would break, so we could have held the sail together and
We could have slid the sail through and put the elastic bands all the way down, and when we pulled it up, we could have just hoisted it, pulled the sheets, and it would just open fine. They just have to be enough to hold the sail lightly until the sail is up, and then the wind will break them as we open the sail. An old method.
Another night and reefing the main again. We do it as a precaution, especially because we don't have the BNG and radar to see storms coming.
Now it's in. It's locked to me.
reefing the main from the back with a rotating map. Takes care to figure it out.
I still am not quite happy with the one in the back yet.
We are using Antal reefing hooks in the front and the back, and the trick is getting them adjusted just right, and then they really work well.
That took less than 5 minutes.
And speaking about adjusting reefing hooks, the next day, Pierre decided it'd be a good idea to do some fiddling to get them to work even better.
Okay,
Okay, so we're going to release first the halyard.
okay.
So,
Yep.
works really nice. After months of tuning, look at the result.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to release it.
Oh, that's nice.
Now we're going to raise the main.
What?
Raise the main.
So it's
We're
undone.
ready to do the opposite. Toward the main.
And the hook goes in. Boom!
Look at
What
that.
did you do to make that work?
Tuning means that we changed some of the lashings. We brought down the hook.
So if we gain a few inches, we could even bring our nut up a couple of inches.
Yeah.
We're getting close to destination. NBA Islands. They're all inside an atoll. And then some of the islands are mountainous inside here, and this is all a lagoon.
Part 3 of our Pacific crossing will be the next episode. We caught an enormous wahoo, and then the last few days proved to be very difficult, with unsettled weather, big waves, and storms. Join us on our adventure as we cross the Pacific Ocean to the Gambier Islands.